Hi Virgo, I am finishing out my series of working with water spirits. We're back on the river today. It's been a year, wasn't intentional, almost a year. Just, I'm not working on my own timeline. I'm working on, the timeline of the forces that be. So we're back today. I would like to finish this set. I was just going to skip to Aries and start filming in my office again, but I felt it on my heart that I needed to kind of close out this cycle, close out this series. So this is going to be a mix of, it's going to be more of a reading since I have my cards today. I'm hoping to keep it under 20 to 30 minutes, but yeah, we'll get started. I'm gonna be a little awkward where I haven't done these in a while. It's kind of hard to get back into this. It takes a lot of vulnerability to put yourself out there online and film stories, especially the way that I do my readings. I share personal stories. It's just part of how I teach. Yeah, and when you're vulnerable like that, it allows you to connect with other people that are meant for you. But at the same time, it's not fun to put yourself out there and have people like bully you and have people attack you and being harassed and stalked online. It's makes me uncomfortable, but that's a part of just existing in a public space. Is people are going to be weirdos. Some people are just weird. Okay, so somebody has been praying. Aww. You've been praying to have clarity on what you want to do with your life, where you want to go. There's an energy here of like trying to make lemons out of lemonade. Because you see the way that there's like the city and then the like countryside. I get the energy here that it's like you have a dream of something that you want to accomplish, but you're not quite there yet. So for some of you, it might be that like you're living in the city still and you want to move to the country, and maybe you want to like purchase property, but you're not there yet, and you're trying to make lemonade out of lemons here. You're trying to find the like joy in your current moment, or it could be the opposite, that you're living in a rural area. You have big dreams of moving to the city, like making something out of yourself, but you feel kind of stuck right now. And there's some grief in that. Also, like with the green is the heart chakra. So grief and loss. You've experienced a loss. And it's like you are trying to open your heart back up, but I get that like right now your life doesn't look like how you wanted it to pan out. So it's like it might have hurt your confidence, but it's also like gives me an energy of like you're like two different people right now. It does give me like a Hannah Montana, which I honestly enjoy a bit of a Hannah Montana lifestyle myself. I don't want everybody that, personally for me, I don't want everybody that I know in my life to know that I'm like capable of like doing like shamanic stuff. It's just like I don't want to be treated weird. I don't want people to be like afraid of me. I don't want people to be weird around me. I just want to be able to like live my life and be my own person. And then some people can know that I do this, but I don't need to like sign on my forehead that says, hey, I'm a shaman everywhere I go. I tend to, people gravitate towards me anyway in a certain sense. But I enjoy a bit of like having a separate life. But somebody is experiencing grief, because it's almost like your life, your physical reality hasn't caught up to your dreams yet. And it's almost like an energy of, maybe that's why I'm doing this reading, it's an energy of like wanting to kind of give up. Like you're not the person that you want to be, if that makes sense. But you are Virgo. You are the person that you want to be. And that's what people get wrong with like magic. That's what people get wrong with magic. When people find out that you can do magic and that you're good at magic, it's first thing is like, oh well, then why don't you just win the lottery? Why don't you just, and it's like, that's one, it's, you have to be in alignment with your soul. Not many people's souls want to win the lottery. You want to win the lottery. This is just like, this is one of the main things people with magic, they just want money, 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 money. And it's, that's greed. And money doesn't actually fulfill people. I know a lot of people that are the wealthiest people that I know are the most miserable people, and it's because they are miserable people. And they got the money, and they like were hell-bent towards getting, a high-paying job and having some sort of like status financially, because they thought that would fulfill them, and it didn't. So now that it didn't fulfill them, they use the money and status they have to try to assert power over people that are actually happy with their lives. You see this all the time. People that are, high-paying jobs, have high-paying careers, have status, they treat service and like industry people like shit, and it's a reflection of who they are, that they're unhappy with themselves. So when they meet somebody who they perceive as like lower than them on the totem pole, but like you're smiling and you're happy and you're enjoying your life, like, I have to strike out at you because you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to be happier than me. You're not allowed to experience joy. I've had a lot of people do that to me, that have attacked me in my life, because they have spent so much of their time and energy trying to achieve this like status and money, and it didn't do anything for them. Money is not gonna like find you love. Money is not gonna find you connection. Money will not find you purpose. Money is just money. It's just a burden for a lot of people, because it's like the more that you own, the more energetic burden that you have. That's why some of the happiest people are like vagabonds. Some of the happiest people like live in a van down by the river. It's because none of that shit matters. It's not gonna fulfill your soul. So you can do money magic, and the money will show up for you as it's intended to show up for you. That's like, for me personally, living with family. I love living with my family. I love being around my family. I have a good relationship with them. They're like my best friends. I love this property. I love this land. I love being here. So this is like, as much as I'm, if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I moved to Vegas for a little while, and I was trying to build there. And a few months into it, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't like it here. I hate the vibes here. I can't see myself being happy here. My dog's miserable. She's sick all the time. Like, why am I here? And it's like, because my soul wanted to be here. Her soul wanted to be here. So it's one of those things that, like, I'm off on like a tangent right now, but like, money doesn't matter that much. Yeah, you have to have money to survive in a capitalist society, but other than like just surviving, your soul, typically, there's not many people's souls want money. If you do manifest money in that way, some people manifest money because they're meant to do something greater. That's one thing that, like, you're meant to run a charity. There are some people that are wealthy and make money and they give back. One of the biggest people I can think of is like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton could have been a billionaire. She actively chooses to be a millionaire because she is constantly giving back to her community and giving, to different causes and supporting people in Appalachia. Could she do more? Probably. But I mean, like, she's human too. I'm sure she enjoys having, money to do what she wants to, and to have money to pass down to future generations. I don't know her life. I don't know her lifestyle, but you get what I'm saying? So like, there's grief here because you feel like you're not who you want to be. You're not who you're supposed to be, but you are. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned through like doing YouTube, especially is like my YouTube started to blow up, and honestly I got really fucking sick because of the energy here. And then unfortunately, in the like occult practices, people do spell work on you. If a practitioner is in a low vibration and something you say is triggering to her or him, a lot of them will start doing work on you. It's just the way that it is. It's the same as like, you work in an office and you and somebody else is up for a promotion and they're gonna try to like fuck you over. This is what people do. This is human nature. It's the dark side of human nature. It is what it is. It's part of life. You have to toughen up. be able to deal with the like trials and tribulations of anything that you're doing. So you don't need a particular lifestyle or a particular like, you know, job, or I mean within a certain extent. There's, you know, not everything is black and white. There are nuances in everything. Have some sort of ability to follow a conversation here without nitpicking everything that I say. You first become the person that would have what you want. So if you want to make an impact in your life, and that's typically the sole reason that you would want to have any sort of fame, to have any sort of credibility, to have any sort of, you know, leadership authority, would be because you want to make an impact. You have something to share, and you have something important to say, and you want to make an impact, and you want to, you know, make change. You want to make waves in your community. You can do that from where you are today just by becoming that person. There are so many people out there that are impactful in everyday life, and it's not because they have some sort of high-paying job. It's not because they have some sort of swanky downtown apartment. None of that shit actually matters. And I'm telling you, I know people that have gone headfirst and fought to get that lifestyle, and they fucking hate their life, and you know, they're mad at anybody else that has less than them that's happier, because that shit does not matter. So I'm telling you right now, this insecurity that you're experiencing, it is keeping you from rooting into who you're meant to be and attracting people that are meant to come into your life. You have to, and it's funny that these are all root chakra cards, because your root chakra is your sense of like safety and security. You can't manifest if you're stuck in like survival, and that is a big reason why like spiritual attacks are so, especially like through like political means, through like, you know, the news. That's why they're so powerful, is because when you're scared and you live your life in fear, it's really hard to create your reality, because you're creating a like fearful reality. There's growth here and wisdom in this grief. See? You can always recover what was lost. You can always create something new. If things fall apart, it's because it was a facade and it wasn't really what you wanted. I'm telling you guys. I have started over probably like 20 times at this point. Start over constantly. And it's because like, well, I mean, I have a 5 life path. Are you guys into numerology? I have a 5 life path. So I'm a manifesting generator. Through every angle, I am intended to like constantly change and start over. It's something I've fought and I've tried, and I talked about this. It might have actually been, I talked about this when I moved to Vegas. It was the readings where I'm wearing the purple dress and my hair is dark and curly. I want to say it was a Taurus reading, but I could be wrong. I know it might have been fire sign readings, because I remember doing Aries and Leo. I don't know. I talked about how I really wanted to get to a point where I could just like find somewhere and put roots in, and I've been looking for that. I've moved everywhere. I'm constantly trying to seek somewhere that I can just like have for home and build. And my guides kept telling me that I am meant to be more like nomadic this lifetime, and I have to get over my like desire to root somewhere, because it was coming out of an insecurity, and it was coming out of a need to, you know, fit in with what everybody else is doing. Not everybody's, let's see, growth. Not everybody's path is meant to look like the like stereotypical, oh, married by this age, house, kids. Doesn't mean that you're never gonna have that, but not everybody's timeline. You're not working on everybody else's timeline, and you deprive yourself of joy and connection in the current moment when you are constantly seeking things outside of yourself. You have to find joy and fulfillment in the current moment, and if this is something, this lifestyle, this whatever, if it's a vision that you have of for yourself that you can't let go of and it continuously calls for you, that means that you do have it. There is a future timeline where you do have this thing. But constantly like seeking things outside of yourself and beating yourself up and feeling like you're not good enough because you don't have it right now, it's not helpful. It's not productive. It's not helpful. What is it doing besides just making you feel shitty and depriving yourself of things you could be experiencing now? When I got to Vegas and I was, you know, working my little job there that sucked the life out of me, sucked the soul out of me, all I could think about is, damn, I really miss the days when I was doing my business full time and, you know, hanging around my house and spending time with the animals. And I didn't have much of a social life because I worked every day for like, you know, 20 hours a day. But like, I don't have much of a social life here either because I'm working this 9 to 5 that's sucking the soul out of me. And honestly, it's hard for me to meet people that I vibe with here. So it was, you know, you can't run from your problems. You can't run from the soul lessons that you're going through. You can change your settings, sure, but certain settings, like you don't recognize how blessed you are in the current moment until you're in another situation and you look back and you're like, damn, I should have appreciated where I was at that point. I feel like that's pretty common. You know, when I was in my 20s chasing like how I thought my biggest thing was, you know, I wanted love, I wanted romance, I wanted to get married and have a family, and that was like my biggest thing for a while. I was in an abusive relationship trying to force that relationship to be healthy and trying to convince myself that like we could work it out and it would be okay. And no, I now look back and I don't regret it because I feel like that relationship really it changed who I am, but I don't want to say for the better in the long run for the better. In the moment, if I could go back and save myself from that situation, I would protect myself, but I wouldn't take myself out of it because I needed that life experience to be who I am today, and I wouldn't change who I am today. Yeah, don't reject. I might be off when it comes to my delivery, but I am on point still. Look at that. See? Don't reject the towers that are meant to come into your life because they help align you with who you're meant to be. They do, and they help align you with people that you're meant to connect with. You're living in the past, and you need to overcome that. You're living in the past feeling like, well, if I could have done this differently, and maybe if I would have took this job, it's all ego. It's an illusion, and it's depriving yourself of living in the current moment and enjoying where you are today, which will help you manifest where you want to go. Stop looking to the past. The past is the past. The past isn't as I've heard other creators mention this, and it's so true. The past is not real. All that is real is the current moment. Nothing else is real. Truly, nothing else is real, because think of how much your mind creates your reality. I can look back on so many situations, and the way that I perceived it at the time was not the real way that it is when I look back now. I'm like, oh damn, like if only I would have known then what I know now, right? So why am I obsessing over something that happened? It's old news. You thought your life was going to go a certain way and it didn't, and that's because it wasn't meant to work out that way. It doesn't mean that it's never going to work out. It's just not going to work out in the way that you wanted it to. Maybe you need to spend another year where you are, because there's somebody that you're going to meet there that's going to change your life for the better. You know, like maybe you need to live where you are right now, or why? All right, I'm just going to say it. Okay, so you are meeting people that you have soul connections with. You're meeting people that are meant to be important to you this lifetime. But there's this energy of waiting for you to move. For somebody, it's like moving. You feel like you're not where you need to be location wise, and you're trying to manifest moving. You want to move. There's an energy here of somebody that's a Cancer. So you might have Cancer. I don't mean Cancer, the zodiac sign is Cancer. Car is relevant too. Maybe you're having car problems, or you're going to get a new car. You want to get a new car. There's something you are constantly focused on trying to manifest moving forward, when you're not living in the current moment or appreciating what's trying to come to you, and that's keeping you stuck. That's the reason why you're stuck, is because rather than just accepting where you are, and I'm just gonna say it, fine. There is somebody here, Virgo, there's somebody, this is more than likely a Libra, somebody with Libra. I'm getting a feminine. There is somebody that is stalking you. Could also, a Gemini might be involved. There's somebody that is watching you, that wants to keep you stuck in this chaotic energy, and that's also manifesting chaos. It's interruption. You see the way that energy interrupted what I was saying. There's somebody, yeah, there's a judgment call you're going to be making soon. There is somebody that is trying to, yeah, they're going to come in with a bullshit offer. This, look, coming out again. Somebody's going to try to come towards you. All right. There's an interruption in this energy. There's somebody that is stalking you. There's somebody that, and I'm telling you, it's the things I talk about, it's for a reason. When I'm channeling, it can sometimes seem like I'm rambling, and people that don't get it and that aren't on my wavelength and that aren't capable of following along with the storyline will argue with me in the comments of like, I'm just rambling, and I used to stick to the cards all the time, which is like, fuck you, you know, go fuck yourself. People that comment stuff like that, God, I can't imagine how miserable you must be, and how stupid. Like, that just shows how like low intelligence, you are not very intelligent person if you can't tell what a psychic is meant to do. This is what I'm doing. Anyways, there's somebody that is watching you, and it's the energy I was picking up on earlier. This is somebody that does feel like they have something over you. They feel, because like swords, Queen of Swords is somebody that's cold and conniving, and it's also like somebody that feels like they have authority, but it's not the authority like an emperor or the empress, where it's like they're like, that's real authority, or even the Hierophant is like real authority. This is not somebody that has actual authority, because air is like mental. This is somebody that mentally feels like they're above you. They feel like they deserve more than you. They feel like they have something that you want, and they're stalking you and keeping tabs on you. And yeah, especially like they want to know what you're doing for work. This is somebody that wants to block you from moving forward. It's a cycle that's ending for you. The cycle of feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, Virgo. You are, tune out this person. Get this person out of your head. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. So what are you going to do with it? That's the mindset you need to shift into. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And if you want this dream, if you want to make this dream happen, what are you going to do with the present, the time, and the opportunities, and you know, the energy, what you are presented with right now? What are you going to do that will propel you forward on this path that you want to get on? And that's where you need to be, because I swear to you, take your hand, look me in the eyes. I'm being so honest with you. These people that have what you think that you need to have, I guarantee that there are aspects that you have that they wish that they could have. You know, you're not going to reach a point in your life where everything works out and it's perfect and you're happy and like nothing's bad anymore. That's not real. There's going to be new challenges every phase of your life, and there's opportunities as well to learn and grow as a person, and you might be on a growth path more than a achievement path. Does that make sense? There's somebody here that's been hell-bent on having like achievements and having authority, on having status, and they compare themselves to you, which should tell you, Virgo, that you're doing something right. If somebody that, you know, within society measurements has more than you, and they're still trying to compete with you, and they're still trying to, like, you know, compare their life to you, it should show you that you are a lot better off than you think you are. You are in a good place. People will envy you for dumb shit in this lifetime, and instead of taking offense to it, you need to recognize that, hey, that is a blessing that I have, and I should be more appreciative. Somebody wants to make you feel bad. Somebody wants to create chaotic energy in your life, and they're sending you. I've been getting that. This is a part of the reason I haven't wanted to post in a while too, is the truth in the situation. There's a lot of like malefic energy on like social media right now. I think that one of the worst sites for it is Instagram. I deleted my Instagram. That's why if you used to follow me on Instagram, and I did not block you, that was not intentional. I deleted my old Instagram, both my personal and my business Instagram. I deleted them because I needed a break from the constant evil eye there. And then I like let it lapse too much. I think it was like 3 months. Instagram like automatically deleted, permanently deleted, which was kind of sad because I lost like all of my history of pictures on my personal. I had pictures of like, especially like my dog when she was a puppy that I lost. That sucked. But yeah, I accidentally deleted them. I have them again, but I don't use them that much because the evil eye there is really bad. I think you have to be careful on social media. One of the safest, and YouTube too. I don't think YouTube is as bad. I think Facebook has dark energy. Sorry, Facebook does have dark energy. Instagram has the darkest energy. One of my favorite, I love TikTok. TikTok does not have dark energy. I mean, it depends on your algorithm. It depends on, like, you know, the type of stuff you consume. But personally, I think the TikTok community, and I think TikTok in general, has really positive energy for the most part. That's my favorite. But anyways, just a side note, I would be careful. Just cleanse your energy, ward your energy if you can. If you don't know how, it's not my job to protect everybody. I can't do it. I used to try to share advice like that all the time, and it was always used against me. So, you know, it's not my job to keep everybody safe. You gotta make your own way in this world. Anyways, I think I'm done with the reading. There's somebody, an air sign, it could be a Gemini. I get more leaning Libra. They're super jealous of you. They try to create conflict, so they're trying to like gather. They talk shit about you. They're trying to gather people against you. They want to keep tabs on what's going on with your life. They're jealous of you, and this person feels like they should have authority and status over you, and they don't, because who cares? Like, you have to be miserable to do this shit. You have to be a miserable person. I can see why the Virgo is doing better than you. I can see why you're obsessed with the Virgo, because the Virgo is concerned about their dreams and what they want to make of themselves, and you're concerned with the Virgo. You know, sounds like a fucking loser to me. Anyways, I'm gonna get off of here because I don't like reading into that energy. It's irritating. But just so you know, if somebody tries to reach out with you with some sort of like, hey, I miss you, just to like, sorry, I would be, yeah, that's what I told you. They're gonna try to like, I love you, I've been thinking. Did you? It just cut off because my alarm started going off. Yeah, reject this person. Choose rest over them. They're trying to put you, the Libra, Gemini energy. I get more so Libra. They're trying to put you against third parties. They reject this person. Choose rest. Rest your weary little head, Virgo. Take care of yourself and know that if it's meant for you, it's going to come for you. And what you need to do is prepare for it and enjoy where you are. Especially, like, I know I have international viewers sometimes, but if you're in the US, like, the spring is such a beautiful time of year. The spring is such a beautiful time of year. I mean, I think, you know, if you're in the southern hemisphere, fall is beautiful, winter is beautiful, but I'm like really loving the spring this time. I think it's because I've been in the desert the past couple of springs that, like, actually being around like greenery is just soothing for my soul. But yeah, it's almost summertime. Find some things to do this summer. Do little things. Plan little activities to do. It doesn't have to be major vacations. Just plan little stuff to do that makes you feel happy, that brings you joy again. Fill up your days or your weeks where you can with things that bring you joy, and trust that if you are here right now, you're meant to be here, and that you're meant to get something out of it, and stop beating yourself up for not being where you need to be, because a lot of times it's because God is preparing something better for you. God is preparing something better for you, and you can't beat up the person that you are today. It's not going to work that way. You have to build yourself up, and you have to find confidence in yourself and joy in your current moment, so that you can pull in this higher reality. And who knows, you might find that like this city that you really want to move to is not that great to begin with. Maybe you don't want to be there. Anyways, bye.